Hey, so this is something new. Hey guys, welcome back to the Cheeky Bastards podcast, a podcast that's all about cricket and the banter that comes with it. So if you're seeing something new on the screen, please go ahead and like it, right? We are fucking, working on over the weekends for you fuckers. So, show some love, you degenerates
Respect.
who don't do shit for us, and here we are, watching shitty highlights for you so that we can do this show properly for you,
At
right?
least, at least, at least give your
Uh,
valuable comments. Even though it's small, but there should be some activity.
Valuable feedback
Valuable.
that will definitely work on.
uh,
Definitely work on. Right. Okay. So, yeah, we wanted to start discussion over the cricket that happened over the last few days and is going to happen. We want to start with what has happened right now, and I think
Mhm.
all three of us predicted this for the ODI. No, Akshay was on England's side, but it was
It was a
2-1,
draw.
which
It was a
which
draw.
was a draw. But now the T20 series has been a, well, not to be very racist against England, but whitewash. Right, I'm doing a lot of finger. It was a whitewash, right? And the fact that South
yeah.
Africa whitewashed England is, the news doesn't seem correct, right? It doesn't seem very PG friendly, very woke friendly. Akshay,
Oh.
Um,
and
this
this
I'll
is
is
have
not
some
good.
background next.
Next show Akshay is gonna have a orangish orangish
No,
background.
no, no. I'll have some flag.
पॉडकास्ट भगवा कर देंगे राइट नहीं ओके
Aditi,
oh
like, come on,
man.
come
Sumer.
on. No, so back to cricket, right? Very difficult, but yes, back to cricket. um the whitewash of what happened, right? The matches were not even close. That's the that's
One
the
side.
point I want to, yeah, that's the point I want to make. And this is a question to you two actually, because wa- Adi is a stat guy and you watch England cricket more. But is this full force, English attack? Is this the same team going to play? I hope not.
No,
Okay.
Ideally,
no,
this
Who
would
are
no,
be
definitely not.
ideally this would be this team, but
See,
again, they're not trying to gel up with a new captain somewhat.
Oh,
Morgan
okay.
changed from Morgan to Butler. I
Yeah.
think somewhere things are going off, but I hope by World Cup they'll be back.
So you
so
don't see.
you are kind of like supporting England for the World
No, no,
Cup.
I'm not.
Kind
I'm
of.
not.
Your words are
I'm
telling
not.
me.
I'm not. No.
He's expecting. He wants England to be better by the
No, I'm
No,
World
I'll
Cup.
not.
tell you.
So
I'll tell you what he wants. He
passive
wants
support.
England to do bad so that their coach changes to McCullum and then he'll support.
Exactly. Exactly. This
I
is
know
what
you
I
little
was talking to
motherfucker.
you while yesterday only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so
So
Adi, who are
yeah.
missing? Who can we
Actually,
blame here that
yes.
this person was not here, hence we didn't win, right? Who's that person?
I think they are missing one experienced pacer as such, along with Chris Jordan. Like Chris Jordan is a T20
Hmm.
specialist, that's understandable, but he needs one, who is actually skilled,
The fuck you mean by
someone who can,
that?
bowl well.
I think they need. Are you
I
saying?
mean,
Are you
like
saying they need Anderson again in limited over cricket again?
probably. I mean, other than Shred Broad, everyone would work because you don't want another 36 or 6 balls. So other than him, everybody would work. But I do think they are missing one of Mark Wood, Chris Wokes, or Jofra Archer. Like Mark Wood or
Hmm.
Chris Wokes, at least one of them has been there. We're not Jofra Archer has not been there for forever, but at least one of them has been. And having missing all of their frontline like pacers
Hmm.
as such is probably causing them a little bit of
And I think
hiccups
they
that
are
we can
being
say to
more
some extent.
reliant on top play. I don't know why. They probably played one or two matches very nicely. They are not looking forward. I would say. I don't know. They have good bowlers, but again,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
so as Sumit mentioned, right, that it has been a proper whitewash. He probably didn't look at the score line because it is 2-1, not 3-0. Or maybe his English is bad and he doesn't understand the
No,
meaning of
it's
whitewash. I don't
his
know.
Aussie blood coming out of it, yellow blood.
England won a
Yeah, like
match?
a
What
win
the
is
fuck?
whitewash.
Okay.
They scored 230. Oh man, they scored 234 in the first match, and that was in T20, not a ODI. They scored 234 and won the match by 14
Okay.
runs. So probably better research next
Yeah.
time.
My bad.
Oh, Sumit, what is this?
This fucker could have
So the
stopped me,
point is,
but he didn't. I'm pretty sure he didn't know as well.
Who?
yeah, I wanted you to have your 5 minutes of fame.
Okay.
5 minutes. Okay, nice.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
yeah, the point is that it's not that the English team are very weak, but I think we are missing out on point. Like when we are pointing out the mistakes that England made, we are missing out on the improvement that South Africa made. Their team is
Mhm.
so much more balanced. Like right now, especially in T20s, like I don't think any other team other than India and England used to say that anybody could come in and fit in the expected role perfectly. Like England used to do that previously before 2019, that anybody would come in and they will perform
Yep.
brilliantly. India had those kind of
I'll
capable
say,
players, but right now,
just a comparison. Sorry, Aditu. South Africa is
yeah,
playing
no
like
issues.
Gujarat Titans. I don't know, somewhat. Every match, there's some new match winner,
So, some new
and
hero.
and their
Yeah,
captain is David Miller. So he was a crucial part of Gujarat Titans winning the cup. So
Yeah, the following video is
he
sponsored
has
by
learned
Kakra.
how to win trophies quickly.
Kakra and Plus. You see, saved by Kakra. We have our sponsors right here who don't pay us. Shit.
Oh,
No, so see,
right. Yes,
I just remembered the first match now, like since you said, right? And I remember that match being, just what, just a batting game basically. One guy played for South Africa, two guys played for England. That's why England won. But the gap
yeah.
of 40 run in a 200 plus chase is still, I'll still go for it. But how is like the fact that England got beaten by what 90 odd runs? Like what the fuck was that? 90 runs and 58 before that,
Yeah, that was
to the
right?
crazy.
ninth.
It's in England. Like what the fuck is happening, right? That
Yeah.
dude, you can't take this team to Australia. I'm sorry, if you can't, you just can't. You have to
They
fix.
tried. They tried.
And
And
Adi, tell me, you are with stats, right? Butler after the India series or
Yes.
probably after IPL, he has not played
IPL,
good, right? For
no,
England?
no, hasn't been the same.
Actually, I don't have that number right now with me, but I was preparing a list of how England players have been performing before the World
Hmm.
Cup and after World Cup. Like, if you start counting numbers from 2017 after end of Champions Trophy till end of World Cup, that's one phase, and another phase after the end of World Cup till today. I mean, I can very easily say that every player, like for ODI at least, average of every batter has dropped by at least 20
Hmm.
runs. And if you have a drop like that in ODIs, it is going to affect your T20. I mean, like it's not going to completely wash away, right?
Correct.
Not whitewash, just to be clear, Sumit. Yeah, so
Yeah, I'll get too many shots on me. I guess that's fine.
And
But
then see taking
yeah,
5 wickets today. So I don't know.
okay, all of
so
that,
England are not the best against.
again, all of that in a way, I haven't had my answer yet. Who are they missing? What is England missing right now?
Bowlers.
No, no.
Quality bowlers.
So, but they have lost by runs, right? 90 runs. So I
Yes,
guess
that's what I wanted to
No,
talk
but
about.
I guess
bowlers
the
obviously,
batting is
right?
also not
Smith.
performing then.
Smith, bowlers
So
for sure, right? They conceded 191 runs.
yeah,
So
no, that was fine.
I mean, even if they had
Yeah,
better bowlers, they would have conceded 40, 50
hmm.
runs come, which less, which makes
but
sense.
still they
But
lost.
then they would have
Exactly.
still lost by 40, 50
Exactly,
Hmm.
runs.
exactly. So okay,
So,
I'll make my
so
point very clear actually. Let me make it absolutely clear where I wanted it to go. It is
Hmm.
that what the fuck is Roy doing is what I want to know because he's the 2019 their MVP basically, right? Him and
Correct.
Archer, I'll say.
yeah, I'll say the major reason, the greatest mistake that he has made is that he stepped away from Gujarat Titans. And you can't perform well when you step away from Gujarat Titans. You cannot do that. That is the biggest mistake that he has
That's a
made.
sin. That's a
So,
cardinal
like,
sin.
yeah,
It's
and if
Hardik
you look at
Pandya's
it, just
curse.
after since the IPL, he has not been performing well,
No
right?
fair.
Since the end
No,
of
even
IPL.
before that, I don't. I somehow feel like I heard the name Roy only in 2019 World Cup and a year before that. Since then, I don't know where the fuck he has been and what is he's doing. It's just bizarre all of a sudden that he's not performing. Right, Moeen Ali we all knew would perform. Right, he's the kind of player, especially in CSK. Right, so if CSK has bought an all-rounder, he's supposed to be good only. Right, all of a sudden I don't feel threatened by England anymore in T20. Like it was as
So,
even when they were not performing and Morgan was the captain, I still felt that they'll qualify till semi-finals. This time I don't think so. I think New Zealand will take their place easily.
so just to be like again centric about numbers that we're talking about, you were saying right that Jason Roy was a threat maybe in 2018, 2019, maybe 2020 to some extent, but not anymore. So I'm checking his numbers right now. In 2021, in T20s, he averaged 30, which is good, and he had a strike rate of 146. So when you're averaging 30 and a strike rate of 146, that is brilliant, right?
That's
In
good.
T20.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we can say that till 2021, he was as good as you can want
19.
him to
Yeah.
be. But the problem has started in, no, I'm talking about 2021,
I'm saying he was as
previous
good
year.
as he was in 2019.
Yeah, right. And in 2022, his average has dropped to 18.9, like maybe consider 19. So 11 run drops in T20 isn't going to matter. And his strike rate is, I mean, as much as Ashwin's strike rate, 105.
That's not a good comparison, but okay, especially against England. But okay. So what do you? So okay, broader question now. Obviously, it's I'll have the same question for both of you all the time. It's a World Cup year, right? England is out of my top four right now, right? It's uh, is England in your semi-final list or no?
Nope.
Not with the current form, because the point is that India seem to be improving the as a T20 side, especially under Rohit. He has his lucky charm, maybe, I don't know. Then Pakistan seemed like a better team. South Africa are
Much
doing
better.
much better, and you cannot count out New
Yeah.
Zealand, right? Even then, you still have Australia, like as another team which is
Might
really
win, right?
decent. I could
Current
say.
world champion.
Yeah,
Never
might
know.
win. It's Australia.
Yeah.
Never know. Yeah. But you're not making the top five, so
No.
I don't think any of us would be keeping them in England in our semi-final
Akshay?
spot.
Yeah, for sure. Earlier England was there, not Pakistan, but I feel they will be there for sure. Australia, India, South Africa, and probably Pakistan.
So Akshay just made the same prediction
New
as
Zealand
Nikhil
crying in a
Ponting
corner.
did, right?
Sorry,
Australia
as
and India are going to play the finals. That's what Ponting predicted this time around.
for
Let's
sure.
see.
Yes, why not?
I'll tell you why I don't want that to happen. Just one reason for I don't, because it'll be all Indian fans in Australia. It's the home ground advantage goes away, right? You'll have like 95% Indians and that 5%, shirtless folks. Those would be the Australians sitting there.
So you'll see probably Maxwell getting out and supporting for India because of his wife. I don't know.
Can be.
Can happen, or his wife does something to him before the match so that he can't perform the other day. Warner faced a groin injury, if you guys remember. Then his wife had to go on a podcast and say, no, it was not my hand that was involved. So you never know. Anyways, I think I got what I wanted out of the series. Discussion is we all think that it's not gonna go. Adi, you were saying something.
Yeah. So we talked about England so much, but I do want our focus to be on South Africa for someone.
Okay.
Like they have a good pool of players, but what changes do you see in their 11 that they are playing right now? So they are playing.
That's a very difficult question. I can't answer it right away because, as you just said, they have like 17 or 18 first draft players, like Riley Russo. All of a sudden, you can't take that guy out now, right?
They have
Right.
Rabada on the bench, Van der Dusen on the bench.
Reza Hendricks has suddenly scored 3 consecutive half centuries, and Deacock is the a guy who is just supporting him. Maybe I don't know. He's supporting right now. And there's then Mumbai Indians guy Tristan Stubbs. What is he doing? How did he score 72 of 28 balls? How do you do that when you are okay? He probably did that because he's from MI, but I don't know.
No, fair.
It was weird to see a young guy
I'm just
scoring
checking
like
the
that.
last team. Baby AB is not there. Klaassen is not there. I don't see the regular, like the names that every one of us thought. Like that's what I'm saying. 18 players is like 11 that they played plus easily 6 players you can add to that team, and you can do any permutation combination with it as long as you have like your 4 bowlers and 6 batsmen, and you'll have a team that can qualify for semi-finals. So very
Yeah,
hard to
yeah.
do,
I
dude.
mean,
I'll have
man,
to see a few more games.
Even
Who?
even
I'll ask you this question now. Who would you take out of these 17? That's what I want to know. Who
no,
would you bench?
even with probably if they get injury, right? Probably 1 or 2 players get
Yeah,
injured, they still have good backups.
she'll have a good backup. Which I'll say about, and India also has that. I'll say about my team. If one of the bowlers is gone, right? If
Kane Richardson comes in. Oh
Exactly,
man,
and Kane
that
Richardson is
bastard.
the 12th player for the other team. So if one player goes away, right, Josh Hazelwood, right, if he goes away, the Australian bowling lineup is not even the same. It's not even close. So that's probably,
Stark be like, मेरे से नहीं हो पाएगा.
dude. I have
Oh man.
previously, had my doubts on Stark in ICC tournaments, and I'll never have that again, right? Do that at your own peril, right? I'll clip that if you're saying that, and then we'll see the
No, I'm not.
right? Because you never know. You never know what Stark turns up, right? The one who can throw 6 Yorkers at you at this 148, or the one who's just back of a length giving you outside off deliveries. God knows why, right? So you never know who turns up. But yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
I think bowling department
But
and
that
overall team
well,
structure Australia is
outside of
dependent on 11.
but that outside of delivery will work for one player. I don't want to name that player, but
Oh God. Who? Viraj. Viraj from that movie.
Viraj Sharma.
Viraj Sharma from
Viraj Sharma.
what the fuck was that movie, dude? Whatever, John
They should-
Abraham, Varun
you are-
Bhatt, I don't care.
the player who
Yeah,
was
they should.
supposed to was very hyped that he'll play against Zimbabwe and score loads of centuries. But
Okay,
again,
so
We'll come to that. We'll come to
no,
that
I'm
later.
not
I mean, or
naming,
we can discuss
I'm
it
not
not
naming
now.
names. I'm just
okay, so South Africa, right? Adi, do you have someone in mind? Who would you play there? Like, what team do you have?
See, the 11 that they have right now, along with the backups that we're talking about. For example, we are talking about the team that played was Nokia, Ngidi, Shamshi, and Keshav Maharaj. These four were the premier, and Le Phulkilya. How do we name that person? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce his name. So that guy is the
Adi
fifth
fans
bowler.
it now.
But
Mhm.
yeah, but look at the option. They have one of the best death bowler CSK had, Dwayne Pretorius, in the backups, who's a decent all-rounder as
Right.
well. So if the situation demands, he can bat at number 7. You have Rabada and Maharaj, who are a decent number 8, number 9 kind of guy. So you have a long batting lineup as such, and you have very capable batsmen, bowlers. Like Rabada is being rested, man.
that
I don't know who are they going to
that
drop
would
to
be
put Rabada in.
That Felco
Like,
guy, I think that he'll go, right?
yeah,
He
but
hasn't played for.
Yeah, but then
being rested and Felco, I
Will-
think he did bowl good, nice. I think 4 overs 23 for 1 wicket. That's decent.
No, he bowled nice, but you have to get Rabada in, dude. You can't not play with, that's not happening. You cannot do that. Right?
But,
Ricky
but
Ponting.
while we are
I think you
naming
can
Adi,
if you're not
probably to
BCCI.
you or question from me, right? What has Miller done
Yeah.
Yes.
for
Miller has been a good
no,
captain.
not just captain. For the past
Mm.
6
Okay.
months, what has he done so that he is again into the cricket names here and there? Last 5 years, he was not there. He's saying he's not Killer Miller.
Uh,
He's not, but now he is again
I think
reinvented.
both in IPL and international also he has had the impact innings that I was talking about last time that Sam Curran doesn't have, right? If you remember the last time we were discussing, I was saying I cannot remember an impact inning by Sam Curran, but I remember a lot by Miller in just the last year. So I think he's done sufficient. Like that's his role, right? He's like what 4th, 5th batsman, right? He's closer to what DK is.
For a middle order guy,
That was my point. He's playing
for a middle
DK's
order
role,
guy,
right?
you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to score runs in every match, but you have to step up at the right
when
moment.
it's
That's
needed,
what
when
matters.
it's needed,
Yeah. Like for example, when your team is 200 in an ODI, for example, if I'm talking about, if your team is 215 for 3, maybe you get out at 14 runs in 20 balls, and no one would ask you any question.
Mhm.
But when the team is like 300 for 3, you come in at the last 5 overs and score a good 40, something like that in just the 5 overs. That's what matters.
I have an answer, and I'm going to clip it before I say that. I think it might be good. Anyway, so Akshay, to answer your question, right? What has Miller done in the last 1 year or so? So I think what Miller and Karthik has done, what Maxwell and Pant want to do in T20, which is finish games on their own. I'm sorry, Maxi. I love you, but dude,
Once again, he's trying things. He's opening also, just to
Pant
somewhere fit the squad.
I saw a meme which was hilarious.
That
You
is
know, that
pathetic.
drawing thing, like horse drawing, right? So there's a
Yes.
horse drawing which goes like perfect in the first frame. There's 3 frame divided. First frame perfect, second frame is fine, and the third one is just shit. So it was like test, ODI, and T20 Pant for some reason. I don't know, man. But see, even the last match against West Indies when he was playing, right? The shots he was playing, Akshay was inside. He had some work or something. I don't remember, but I was shouting at the screen, watching around. I'm like, what?
He's trying to call me. He's saying, "Oh, bhai, देख क्या shot मार रहा है ये? Look at him."
I just want to know, what do you call that shot? The one he played at the back, right? And then he got out again playing the same shot next time around. There was a fielder there. But what is that shot even called? It's even Dil scoop would, I don't know what I will call it, like reverse scoop-ish touch. I don't know, but he did. He plays like that, and it works for him, right? When the field is restricted, let's say in ODI a lot, or when in test there's an attacking field set, so he can hit over. I don't know what is happening in T20, but whatever you're doing, dude, in ODIs, you're supposed to do the same in T20. Just do that, and it would be fine. Anyways,
he's trying to do a lot of things that I have limited balls to play. He's trying to
Maybe.
see that however I can score more in limited balls.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I
think the
that
problem
goal
is-
clarity is again the thing, right? I think that happens a lot of the
Yeah.
time. DK has a very clear role, right? So DK has a very clear role. I'm just here to finish. Same is, I think, for Miller right now. Once he got that clarity, I think from Pandya only, right? That you will play all games. You just do whatever you do best, right? So that role clarity, I think, is missing for Pant, because Pant is now you if you piece together a team for India, right? There is a chance that you can put Pant out also in T20s, right? Oh, no, I'll never say again for Test or ODI, but for T20, yes. And even ODI, I'll say later, maybe if it doesn't perform. But T20, he can be out. So that clarity is missing, I guess.
But see, if you're talking about a team based on performance, Pant will definitely be out of the T20
T20
team. He's
team.
there for his reputation.
Yeah.
That's a honest fact. Same goes for Virat as well, and same goes for Pant. You are there in the team for your reputation, and you have to keep up with that if you want to stay in the team. And if you don't do that, then today or tomorrow someone is going to ask you the 2-step away for someone who is actually performing and doing well enough.
Yeah. So, since we are discussing people who are performing well, let's discuss India versus West Indies now.
No,
That's a very nice segue, by the way.
Just okay. I'll have my point later on. Continue.
No, go ahead.
No. My point is limited to that person's, but I don't want to pitch.
Virat Sharma.
So,
Virat Sharma.
so see, I'll put my point. Otherwise, I'll forget it. See,
Sure.
we are criticizing Pant for probably 1 series, 2 series, 1 innings. Why not the same treatment is being done for that person?
I'll tell you why not. I know Adi also thinks that should be the case, but even in the form slump of his lifetime, he averages 50. That's the problem.
That's past, Sumit. That's past. He has not done
No,
anything.
just a
in
second.
recent,
Let me point
recent
out
past,
actually.
right?
No, he has. That's a misunderstanding that I've seen people with, that Virat Kohli is not doing well enough to be in the team. He has not done well enough in 1 or 2 series that I can say. But if you bring out stats after 2019 World Cup till today,
50.
Virat Kohli is doesn't average 50. Come on, don't be bullshit.
I saw that.
But he's still no, he doesn't.
Okay.
But he's still in the top 3 highest run scorer for India in just limited over cricket I'm talking about. and he is there. Like you can say that Pant is doing better in sometimes Pant, but other than Sky, who has done well in T20, who else has been brilliant in last 2-3 years in any of the white ball formats?
What about after 2020?
After 2020, that's what I'm saying. See, KL Rahul has not played cricket since last 3 years or something. Rohit Sharma plays sometimes he rests, but he has been decent, not brilliant as such. But what happens is that there's so much focus on
Expectation.
Virat Kohli being not performing as per his expectation that we are not looking at other players. This was another thing that we noticed in 2019, that we talk about players not in form. If you're talking about 2019 World Cup, you'd say that Dhoni was probably not in his greatest form back then. But even for playing only 6 months, Dhoni was third highest run scorer for India in 2019. Only after playing 6 months. Only Virat and Rohit had more runs than him in 2019.
Okay, fair. I'm correct. So I'll correct myself. It is 44. In the last 3 years, he averages 44. Right. I just did the
so
math
Sumit is the guy with numbers now.
Right. So it's 2020 is 36 in T20s, right? 2020 is 36. 2021 is 74.75 and 2022 is 20.25. So this year right now is the lowest.
This year has been bad.
This year is the lowest he's ever been, and that is the point I think Akshay and the folks who are saying for him to get out is we can't even, like, it would be very wrong of us to say that
we'll lose another ICC trophy then. Okay.
Hot take.
So let's come to the actual squad which is playing in West Indies. So KL Rahul has been hit by COVID again.
Who's the captain?
This time let me count. KL Rahul, no Rishabh Pant, Hardik. I think it is Rohit Sharma this time.
No, it's Dhawan.
In T20.
The expert has failed himself. I'll clip this and what I fucked up in the starting so that everybody fucks up, especially Indian fans, because they don't know. It's like I'm going to make a very racist joke. Should I? Shouldn't I? Let me go ahead with that.
You should.
Like a certain community somewhere in the world, right? A child from that certain community somewhere in the world, Indian fans don't know who their daddy is. Right?
Right now,
Sumit,
we have 8 daddies.
just hold on a second. Hold on a second,
Yeah.
Sumit.
Yeah.
So you are saying Shikhar Dhawan is the captain. In which format?
I don't even know what match is
ODI.
going on.
ODI.
Let me clear it out.
Uh-huh.
He was the captain in ODIs,
Mhm.
but T20 series is going on, and Rohit Sharma is back as captain here.
I didn't even know that, to be
You
very
pathetic fool.
honest.
You
I
pathetic
think
fool.
Shikhar Dhawan is being captain probably only for ODIs. T20.
ODIs. He's not even in the mix for T20. So Sumit, before you make jokes, please clear your stats.
But you got confused. But you still got confused.
No,
so the
No,
point
I
is,
waited for you.
that's
That
bullshit.
was-
You still have 8 daddies. So
I
you
told
don't
you it was Rohit.
You had to confirm.
I told you it was Rohit. Oh man, if you can't see the joke.
I'm sorry, but I think we need to there is a very famous podcast, right? There's
The Cheeky Bastard podcast?
no, I wish, right? But there is a Barstool's podcast which was very famous. 2 girls, they talk about sex, right? So obviously it's going to be popular. It's called Call Me Daddy. I think that's what Rohit Sharma should start doing now, so that Indian fans know, who to cheer for. Anyways, so let's discuss the series, right? Let me know what is happening, Adi. Let me know what is happening.
I think first match opening with Suryakumar Yadav seemed like a blunder to me, to be very honest. I mean, there is one guy who is sure that what his role is, and he will be in the 11. That's one guy. Because even Dinesh Karthik is not sure about his position. He knows his role, but maybe if they're planning to play Rishabh Pant, Ishan Kishan, someone, Dinesh Karthik might be dropped.
If DK
So
is
there's
not
just one
playing,
guy
you're
who will
not
play.
playing, just letting you know.
Yeah. So BCCI doesn't care about the trophy.
Okay.
They want the big names, they want the TRP and everything.
Okay.
ICC trophy who wants. So
I think Sumit,
the thing is that there's one guy who knows what to do.
This will be. I'll mark it.
And we'll tag BCCI to that.
BCCI, what's up?
And then you are asking whom to open.
Huh.
And then you are asking Suryakumar Yadav to open. You were experimenting with Rishabh Pant as an opener. Maybe that you felt that Ishan Kishan is not a good enough option for opener. You want a left-handed opener. So if Rishabh Pant could fit in at the top, it would be easier to play players like Suryakumar Yadav and Dinesh Karthik in that team. It would make a bit more sense. So that was understandable. But then you again displace it. So that seemed like a pathetic decision to me, to be very honest. Pathetic is the only word that I'll use. I was very happy to see how Arshdeep Singh, right?
Yes.
How Arshdeep played. It was fantastic to see him perform. I do want to see. Maybe Bhuvneshwar Kumar could have bowled a few more overs, but hey, if we are winning, what's the problem, right? That's the whole point of experimenting in these kind of series. I think Rohit Sharma can probably rush in the next match and play someone from. Akshay can go and open for one inning. I don't mind.
Hey, you're joking. Rohit Sharma might try that, right? You never know.
Yeah, I mean, he anyway is going to win the match. So
let's give West Indies a chance, right? So again, I'll Akshay, this is a question to you now. Seeing how the match went the first time around, right? And I'll keep asking these questions to you. I'm sorry, but what do you think of West Indies' chances now? Because we forget, but I know they're not even in the conversation, but the fact is that they are again, correct me somebody, but I think they won it twice, right? The T20 World Cup they won twice, and is there another team who has won it twice? No, right?
No,
it's the only one.
No.
So there are two-time champions, and it's not that long back. Also, it's been a few years, obviously, but it's not that long, and all of a sudden they're not even in the mix anymore. Like ODI, we all knew, but T20 is more or less West Indies' format, and they're not even in the conversation this time.
I'll tell probably they will be the dark horse somewhere in the World Cup, because you never know them, right? Because you never know any West Indies, their bowler can come in and change the game. You never know, right?
Ben Stokes is having Ben Stokes is having fever dreams. Oh God.
One thing I don't want to. I have to blame it on the management. Is why are they still not playing Narayan?
Yes. Yeah. True.
So that they are the two best players in T20 cricket. They have played all around the world.
Cricket, right.
Every franchise cricket they have played in, they have performed very well.
Yeah.
Last IPL, both were the top two players for KKR, right? Top two, top three. They were there, right? Russell was. He was the player of the tournament somehow. I don't know. Second position he was, but I don't know what is wrong with them. But again, they still would be the dark horse for World Cup for sure.
Their problem is their management's politics, right? So India has a lot of politics going on right now in the BCCI, but it is to get them better and add 2 points. One, to get the team better. Two, to keep Virat Kohli in the team for ka-ching, right? But the West Indies politics is not like that. West Indies politics is to get the money in their pockets and don't even give the team their kits. I remember 2019 World Cup, right? 2019 World Cup, they didn't have kits, right? And it was almost like the players were themselves, contributing to just play the game, dude. That's how fucked up that situation.
When they are in their own home ground, they don't have sponsors. When they come to Indian companies have to sponsor them.
Exactly. I remember seeing a lot of agarbatti ads when it's a West Indies match all of a sudden, right? So I guess just the money thing. Otherwise, I think the pool of talent that West Indies has, right, for T20 only, I'll say, is second to none. I'll say, like, India has the biggest pool, but even India doesn't have that level of hitting power. It's like all 11 can hit the ball out of the park, dude. That's something.
One more thing, their captain is not. They should put Holder for captain for World Cup. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, see, we talk about West Indies being the dark horses, and they have won when they didn't have the best of the chances in T20 World Cup. Twice, yes. And they had a brilliant leader, Terence Sammy.
Yeah.
But I still feel that 2012 and 2016, West Indies has some of the stars as such. T20 brilliant.
Yeah,
Like Chris Gayle was there,
yeah.
Evan Lewis, Marin Summers, they have Dwayne Bravo. So these were T20 players who were brilliant, who have been brilliant for a long time. You can say that West Indies are a dark horse, but they don't have that kind of match winners in their team anymore.
Mm.
Like you can say Shimron Hetmeyer is a brilliant prospect. He's a very good hard-hitting batsman.
Mm.
But how many match-winning knocks has he played till now?
Same problem.
In even for IPL, I'm going to
Yeah,
say
no, same problem.
that he has been DC. He had a senior role as such, but he didn't step up as such. Nicholas Pooran is surely king of ducks. If we have to talk about scoring ducks, I think him and James Henderson can have a competition of not scoring more runs, but of getting more ducks, and he can win there. Their bowlers, I feel like they have one or two bowlers who have expressed pace, but they are more like Umran Malik for me rather than good skilled pacers. So I think they are lacking in every department. I
Adi's
don't see them
taking
as dark horse anymore.
In one breath, Adi took like 3 or 4 shots all in one.
I was preparing for all of them. Like I was noting them down and then
Okay. So I think all 3 of us unanimously don't see them qualifying for the semi-finals, right?
Yeah, but Akshay considers them a dark horse. I don't.
No,
Like, I don't
dark horse of
think
the tournament, basically. I understand that. See, for me,
I
there is
mean,
only
I would,
one dark horse.
I would give them same hope as Bangladesh, or slightly better, like maybe 7th, but not even
Okay.
6th.
That was dark, but no. Definitely not even in top 5. Definitely not even in top 5. Right? That's not even a question anymore.
But they'll probably play a role in knocking out a good team. for
Knocking
sure.
one, yeah, that I can agree. There can be one match where they just they've lost. They know that they're out of the series and they spoil the fun for one of the team. Right, that can definitely happen. And I don't even know who is in which group or what. Right, Adi would correct me in a few minutes anyway. But I just by listening to this, I have a feeling it would be New Zealand for some reason. I don't know. It just feels like West Indies will take India's revenge on New Zealand somehow. I don't know.
That would be great. That would be great.
Just a gut feeling. But even that is a team we can't neglect. Okay, so
Right.
actually the bigger question, see, I'll just ask about the series. Do you see West Indies winning at all? Anything?
I think they can win a 4th or 5th match, but that would probably because India would go hell bent on experimenting so much that anybody could play any place.
Yeah,
Like
Ashwin,
maybe
Ashwin
Sanju
would be
Samson would
opening.
be the finisher.
If
Dinesh
Ashwin is in the squad, maybe Ashwin is opening, right? All of
Yeah. I mean, they will think that anyway Ashwin is not doing anything in the finish as such. Maybe give him a few overs in the power play. Rajasthan have done that.
Yeah.
No.
They can do that again.
Completely. So one match you are giving, Akshay. What do you think? Like, because see, the point of discussing a series, right? I've said that before on this podcast. I'll say it like till they cuff me and kill me, right? Is that you can't call it a match. Match has to be almost equals at the minimum. This is not equal at any level. This is not
So,
It is somewhere West Indies.
So Ashes is not a match.
Sorry.
Sorry, Adi?
I said
Adi just
Ashes
took a
is not a
shot
match.
on the greatest series that has ever been played for some reason. Right?
But it was not a match, no? So what's the point of calling it a series?
It will be a match this time around, right? It will be a match this time around.
It was not. It was not the previous year.
Previous year it was not, but this year it will be, right? So year before that it was, year further it is. Last year they were just shit, so it's okay. It happens. Sometimes you win some, you lose some.
I had to take my shots. Now Akshan can go ahead with his points.
Okay. Everybody should please take your, booster doses, guys. Please, for fuck's sake. Right? Indian government, Coven, you can sponsor us as well. See, we are, spreading good information.
What will happen after taking booster dose?
Booster shot, nothing. I don't believe in them anyway. So, but this is this is just for getting a sponsor. We need a sponsor. Anyways, all right. So see, why I've asked both of you the question is, I don't see a point discussing in this series. I'm sorry, but I don't see a point.
No.
The point of the series is, who would you play?
Discussing the series is not the point, but again, discussing how India will experiment with the squad, that's a point.
That I can do. That I can do. But
So the
West
whole
Indies,
point of
I'm
this
sorry.
series is
Mhm.
the whole point of discussing this series is to see who is retaining their spots, who is going to be out of the mix in some time, and who's going to make a place. Like I feel Arshdeep would make a place. I feel Shreyas Iyer would be out of the team. So these are what we are expecting
I
in the
don't agree with that. I
Yes,
don't
yes,
agree. Let's discuss that. I
yes,
think
yes.
Iyer has done enough to keep his spot. I think
So
so.
Adi again, coming to the catching, he has I think BCCI type B or level 2 contract, so he won't be out of the mix for sure.
See, the point is we can only have like I think I read the news yesterday only that India will be announcing one squad for Asia Cup and World Cup. So there can be a lot of players in the mix who are traveling maybe, but at the end of the day you have to name 15 players who are going to be in the squad. I mean maybe Shreyas here makes a gets a place in the squad just like Rishabh Pant did in 2019 World Cup. Maybe he can do that, but in the 15. We need to remember Rishabh Pant was not there in 2019 World Cup. Shreyas Iyer was not there in the 2019 World Cup, and similarly, I'm expecting Shreyas Iyer to not be in the main 15 that they're going
He
to
would
select.
be, he would be. He will,
I think
Okay,
so.
he'll be
Yeah,
there.
I also think because I'll tell you why. I have a reason for that also because if you see the last 10 matches that he's played, despite like whatever the format is, ODI or T20, I've seen him play a few like he's playing that style, right, where he's not touching the ball where he knows he's gonna get out, and and he gets that 1 over where he'll score
That
20 plus runs.
some players should learn that not touching the ball.
had to take that
So,
shot.
Oh god. It's
No,
it's
see,
like Yogi versus protesters. Akshay won't let go. Just won't let go. How dare
I'll
you?
do one thing, Sumit. I think you just put in right Brock Lesnar getting the tractor in the JCB. So
Yeah.
I'll have it where he stays so that whenever he comes out,
Oh god.
भाई वो देख के तो पैसा कमाने का वो he'll have some urge to play so that he's lost his money to earn. He'll play that.
Oh god. Oh god. All
so
right. Yeah.
I think when we having this discussion, so that what India's 11 would be, maybe we can have a discussion on improving it further. Like let's do a 15, which would give us a better picture on what who's be selected and who will not be
Sure.
selected.
Sure.
We can do that maybe
Come on, let's
Go
go
like
ahead.
today or end of the series. That's the only
And
question.
and, and, and
Yep.
I think let's probably while we are on the podcast, right, I just remembered. Uh, Congratulations probably to Adi. Your comment was there in ClickBuzz. So if
Oh
you
yeah.
Sumit, you can pull it up or the image. So again,
Yeah, I mean, it was just a comment as
but
such. I
still
mean,
it was there.
yeah, I mean, like, Crickbuzz agrees with me. That's one thing I can be happy about.
And
Ooh.
again,
Okay.
that was a very good comment about DK, and he played a good role that day. So nothing,
Surprisingly, he didn't fail me there.
yeah.
No, because when you send that, right, I think he was not the DK strike rate that we are aware of. Then suddenly
Yeah, he had the
Yeah,
stat.
I was
he
talking
just
to Sumit when he just pinged me the screenshot. You pinged in the group, right? I told her, Abhi to he's not playing that Adi's comment. Then again, when I saw, he again came back to normal.
refresh. Okay.
Refresh.
All right. Okay, so long story short, Adi would be applying for Crickbuzz.
Uh,
All
Come on.
right. So yeah, guys, bowling. I'm sorry, Adi. I don't see Arshdeep playing the World
Same
Cup.
here. He
Right.
won't. He won't.
I don't think Arshdeep is playing the World Cup. But
okay.
I would want to know from you first, actually, because you would make the change. So Hans, I'll go to you, then
Yeah.
Akshay to you. I'll take the last crack.
So,
But bowling, I want to know, Adi, what do you think would be like for India World Cup?
see, I mean, we are giving a 15. If we are giving a 15, because anyway,
No.
I'm not going to name only four
No.
that are going to play the World Cup. Are we talking
Dude,
about that?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because 15 players played all the World Cups, right? You don't know. I don't remember shit about the 4 that didn't play. I barely know the 11 who played, right? People barely remember that. So let's just focus on
Okay.
who's going to play because as important as those 4 other players are, the only chance that the other 4 would get is one of them will get injured because just like South Africa, India is sufficient to have enough players for their first 11.
Right. So what I'll think is that definitely the top 6 and 7th guy is to be Jadeja. So I'm keeping the 7 clear.
Jadeja. Okay.
Talking about the 4 names, one would be Bumrah, one would be Chahal. These two are
Right.
again
Yeah.
the 10 and 11
Right.
cleared. So the
Okay.
only fight is for number 8 and 9.
Hmm.
Yeah. Agreed.
Now that we have Jadeja and Chahal, I don't think we need another spinner.
Yeah.
There's no point, especially that you're playing in Australia. So there has to be 2 pacers.
Mm-hmm.
One of them will be Bhuvi simply because how well he has been
Hmm.
doing everywhere. I know
Also, one more
Australia has
point,
not been.
Adi. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Bhuvi
no,
would be there because you will be playing against, England and Australia where they can't play Bhuvi, right? So Bhuvi is a must go. 100% you need Bhuvi. Okay, sorry,
Everyone is
back to
scared
you. So
of
one
it.
spot left. So one pacer.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who has been in consideration? The player has been Harshal Patel,
Hmm.
right? He has been exceptional in death bowling.
Harsha
And
Patel,
another,
Shardul
I want,
Thakur. Yeah,
No, Harshal.
yeah. So my point is that Harshal Patel has been the main guy.
yeah,
He's bowling generally his speed is 120 to 135, something like that.
yeah.
Bhuvi bowls in that pace as well.
Hmm.
Yeah,
He's good at that. We have Bumrah at that, right?
yeah.
So we have sort of like these two are doing the job.
Okay.
I think one guy they need with a variety, right? Harshal Patel is a slow run that we are considering covering with Bhuvi. Bhuvi is also a very good death bowler, which we generally don't count.
Hmm.
Bhuvi is actually a very good death bowler. When Bhuvi and Bumrah are already there, I don't think you need Harshal Patel for that job anymore.
Okay.
And Shardul Thakur, you can ask that maybe he should be there because he can provide batting strength, but taking him for his batting would
No.
actually weaken your bowling. That would be a very bad idea. Deepak Shah can be option, but he's been out for a very long time.
Mhm.
Ashdeep Singh provides you a left arm, very quick pacer option, and he is economical as well. You have enough wicket keeper takers, so I think it's important to have one guy like Ashdeep who can nail Yorkers, who
So
can swing. So both the strengths.
I feel for you, Adi, because what you're saying is right. I agree to what you're saying. The point is right. But when this will go around a board at BCCI, right? You know
That
that
goes
meme,
names.
Akshay, where there is a board meeting going on and somebody says something stupid and they throw him out of the window.
Yes.
That would be Adi when he says
And
Arshdeep,
again,
because even though you're correct,
Adi, again, a World Cup, India will not gamble with a player who has
with
probably
exactly,
less experience in Australia. They won't.
exactly.
They won't gamble.
I don't think so.
Then Harshal Patel is not experiencing
No,
Fair
but
enough.
fair enough. But again, still,
So
Arshdeep,
let's go to Akshay then. Let's hear him out. Who would so I think we all agree on
What's
the
your
five, right?
bowlers?
4+1 format. And I think we agree on 4 players out of that. Just one pacer is remaining. So who do you think that pacer would be?
I'll probably keep. I have 3 names, but again, I'll try to prioritize it 1, 2, 3. First would be, I'd say, Harshal Patel. Second, Shardul. Third, Avesh Khan.
Avesh.
Avesh Khan, no.
Yeah. I'm
Avesh.
third. This is third option.
I mean, let me
Third
be
option.
just
Third option.
let me say 2 things about him.
Binda
First of all,
Academy.
Avesh Khan,
I'm
Avesh
clipping.
Khan has
I'm
played a
clipping.
few T20s and he has been average, nothing more than that. Now Arshdeep is not in the mix right now, but I think he's in the minds of everyone. I'm talking about BCCI here because he's in the squad for this 5-match series, and if he does like he did well in the first match, he's definitely going to play the second and third match. If he does well there enough as well, then he'll get to play games in Asia Cup as well, and that will increase his chances. Like his chances are only going to increase
No,
with time.
I'll say
That's what I feel is
Arshdeep
coming.
again. Arshdeep not 2022 for sure. 2024, I don't know. But 2022 World Cup, he
Yeah, I
won't be
mean,
there. Again, let's see.
yeah. Let's see, Sumit, who's your one guy?
Okay, so I'll
Yeah, actually, just wait 1 minute. So, because Akshay said 3 names, sorry. My first pick would be Ashdeep, second would be Harshal, and third would be Deepak Chahar if it comes to that.
If he's fit,
But
if
yeah.
he's fit.
I'll
Yeah, if it comes.
I'll tell you what I think the BCCI would do, because that's what I wanted to know. But I understand it's cricket. It gets emotional. We want to pick the best for our teams, right? Kane Richardson out of the squad, right? But you win some, you lose some, anyways. I think what BCCI is gonna go with is, don't beat me for it, right? It's not my decision. But what I think is, if Chahar is fit, he's the number one guy for you for that spot, because he can bat also. And so I know this is a very strange thing to say, but I think he would be a better fit for that position than Shardul Thakur. Shardul Thakur is my third position, like third one. First one is Deepak, and the second option for me, I know Adi would say he's out of the mix or whatever. I don't care. This is a World Cup.
Natarajan.
I've seen boards do that. Maybe they bring back Shami. So for me, it would be
correct.
number 1 Chahar, 2 Shami, and 3 Thakur. None of Arshdeep,
Harshal.
Avesh, or even Harshal would get a chance. That's what I think.
Yeah. See, I mean, we all have our like top 3 that we want, but I think Harshal is definitely in the mix above Shardul. He has been doing well, and he also can bat as well as we expect Shardul to. Like every time Harshal has got an opportunity to bat, he has done decently enough. So I think if we are going with that, then before Shardul will get to see Harshal.
Yep.
He has been exceptional in T20. What has recently.
And just being honest, there are a few pitches in Australia where you could use Harshal. Like that's just one, I guess. Forgot the name. There's just one pitch where Kane Richardson also works, right? So that's the one pitch where your super
That's where they play
would work.
BBL.
But I think that Jadeja and Chahal would take care of that. You don't need a Herschel especially for that. And it's a World Cup. It's a fucking World Cup. You can't, and it's in Australia. You need your 3 decent pacers. I'm sorry, but you need those 3 guys who can bowl pace, right?
No, Shami,
so yeah.
Shami, I think you're correct. He can be there. I don't know.
Shami,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if Chahar is
I
back,
wanted him to be there.
Yeah, sorry. Middle overs.
I wanted him in the see. That's what I'm saying. That maybe you're thinking that this is what I want, but I'm actually going with what I think BCCI is going with.
Okay.
So that's why I've not kept Shami in the mix. And not even Shardul Thakur. That I don't see BCCI looking at Shami or Shardul as their T20 bowlers. Rather, they are more like a backup.
Fair enough.
That's what I feel.
I'm just saying again, so this is where we all disagree. That's fine, we can, right? And BCCI can disagree to all 3 of us and go with a 4th bowler, right? You don't even know Rahul Tewatia is playing all of a sudden, right? We don't know. But what I'm trying to say is,
we can also see some bowler who is again bowling in county cricket play.
Oh, so Pujara has been bowling in county. Pujara is bowling. So Akshay,
I thought you were going with Navdeep Saini, but I'm glad you went with Pujara.
Hey, that is a brave.
Thankfully,
that is a brave choice. You can do that if you don't want to win the World Cup. Okay.
I think BCCI would have done that if he was popular. They would have played him for the TRP and money. But he's not that popular, hence they're not playing him.
But yeah, his joke was for Pujara. And I told actually, you can ask any Indian guy walking on the street, he'll bowl off spin for you if you need. If need be, he'll bowl off spin. That's fine.
If you have seen his bowling, his first 2 bowls were actually pathetic down the leg, but then he improved slightly and bowled at least normal lines.
He was giving flighted balls. 3rd, 4th was a flighted Jao Maro like that.
But I felt he looked like a better learner than Umran Malik.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jack Leach.
I don't want to. I have something in my brain again.
No.
Comparison, but
we don't want to get answered.
I know what I'm going to say, but I won't.
I want to add one thing to something Sumedh said. Just a second about that. Sumedh, you were mentioning something about Jack Leach, right?
Yeah.
Now here's a fun fact. Most wickets in Test 2022 is by Jack Leach.
I knew you would come up with some stupid fact all of a sudden that.
It's a fact.
All right. Okay. Fine. I take. So this is guys. So me and Adi, when we started, right, this was a decision that I took very seriously when we were starting with 2 folks, right, for the podcast. It was facts versus feelings. So I was feelings, he was facts, Akshay is a mix. So we have 3 different opinions always, right? That's the point of the podcast. Now, this is what I'll say. Facts says Jack Leach is the best. Accordingly, is the best last year test bowler. If I'm making a team of 4 spinners, I'll take Jack Leach at the 28th number maybe. If he's the last spinner in the world, I'll still not take him, right?
One question.
Oh.
If that series, Australia would have won, your opinion would have been different, right?
No personal questions, please. I'm
Silent.
like still
Subed is
devastated.
silent.
I'll
Okay,
start crying now.
I think Subed, we can close. Just
Yeah.
one more thing I want to bring in. So with all the hype we had, I know we did not want to discuss this. We are already over time, but we all the hype about India Pakistan for women's match for Commonwealth. It was one-sided match. So that's it. Completely.
What else were you expecting?
No, but still,
Yeah, I mean,
right? India Pakistan hype.
Pakistan women has the lowest score of all time in cricket.
Oh,
Right? They are
give
like,
them some respect. They did what we expected them to do.
yeah.
Maybe you wanted a matchup between them, but no, they did exactly as we expected them to do.
They're probably
Not
the
wanted,
shittest
we
team that
expected
play.
them.
I don't know, dude. Pakistan women, dude, they don't have rights. What do you think? How would they be playing also? Come on.
Let's close
Give me
it.
a break.
That done.
Okay.
I would continue.
We don't want to be
I'll
cancelled.
continue for another hour dissing Pakistan, but again, that's closed.
Yeah, so the Cheeky Bastards Bhagwa podcast will continue next time around. You guys should be back. We are working on our video quality. We are working on the podcast. We're working content. I'm sorry. I'm feelings. I'm not facts. I make mistakes, right? But it's fine. We'll continue, improving it. Just keep following us and, keep watching.
And
Thank
sharing,
you guys.
sharing,
We'll meet you
sharing.
next time around.
Start sharing, guys, not
Yeah.
just the comments. Share the podcast.
I'm not good.
Sharing.
Yeah.
Start fucking sharing. I
Start
said it.
sharing.
You degenerates. All right.